So, that was a different way to open our show. Loved it. Little teaser from Unrehearsed Mayhem. We'll have plenty more from those later on in the show. Hello and welcome to North Sea Soundcheck, episode 8. This is the music show for the Yorkshire coast. We're your host. I'm Beth Pilling, musician and presenter.
I'm Catherine Mines, one of the directors of Yorkshire Coast Gigs CIC.
And I'm Christina Jones, studio manager at Beckview Studios. Put me off.
This show is a collaboration co-produced between Yorkshire Coast Gigs and Beckview Studios, where we film every episode in these gorgeous premises. So we have some wonderful guests for you this evening. We'll be chatting to Unrehearsed Mayhem. Graeme Rhodess is our wordsmith in the mix, and Graeme Watson. So this is a very intertwined, very intentional lineup sort of a show with lots of interesting overlap.
Yeah, it's basically our big Graeme special. We've also got some music news from around the coast. Remember, you can get in touch with us via the Yorkshire Coast Gigs website and socials with news that we may be able to feature.
And if you want to talk to us about sponsoring the show and adding your name on here, on the website and in more places, then do drop us a line. Our wonderful sponsors for this episode are the Crescent Lounge, who've provided us with some amazing food again this evening, Trousdale Hearing Care, and as well as the continued support from Your 360 Virtual Tours and Charlotte Middleton, the Curious Creative.
So like Christina said, if you want to sponsor the show, just get in touch. You get your logo on the screen and we can support in many other ways as well.
And before we start episode 8, please just note that we do film this a short time before it's aired. So when we mention upcoming events, be aware that things may change. Always check venue and artists' own info before setting out. Without further ado, and before we start our big Graeme special, we're going to dive into some news from the scene.
News from the scene.
Well, now we've got some news from the scene. We've got Studio Tech Charlie joining us for this bit as well. November may have been cold outside, but the gigs have been coming in hot, and one of the hottest, as we just saw on the video, was Beth Pilling's single launch. So Beth, let's get straight on it. You had your launch at the Crescent Lounge with support from some of the previous show guests, Jack Robertson and the Limeys.
Yeah, it was a really fun night. It was just good vibes all around. When you're planning a show, especially, we always do ticketed shows, but like with the recent move to Scarborough, and I just sort of wanted to do a free entry night. But even then, and I think maybe more so, you're worried about the turn up, because when it's ticketed, you can sort of say, right, who's bought tickets and where are we at with that and blah, blah, blah. But then you just sort of have no indication of whether anyone's going to show up. And I think that's quite a real phobia that a lot of us have. But not the band so much, they're all chilled, but I'm always freaking out. No one's going to come. But people came, so thank you for coming, and I hope you had as much fun as we did.
Bought merch as well.
We sold out of the tote bags. I made some tote bags at home, just saying, like, I don't need the cure, and I made the stencil, and I made a friend at B&Q who was helping me find a craft knife. It was it was a whole journey from start to finish, and we sold out of the tote bags, so thank you for buying the tote bags, and thank you for buying The Cure on Bandcamp. It's exclusively on Bandcamp, so yeah, I think that's a really cool way to support musicians, and thanks for buying our music.
Fantastic. Some other gigs this month included Rena Rocker, who brought Celtic folk punk all the way from Madrid. They were joined by Captain South America and Jenkin Revolt, with an opening set from Ferrifet, also known as Elliot Palucci, who's here in the studio for us on this show, so we'll chat a bit more about that soon. There was also an under-18s young talent showcase at the Cask that featured Socket, Raspberry Jam, who actually announced a name change at the gig, so they're Suko now, alongside 2 solo performers, Chazza and Josh Malander.
Wonderful. So, regular viewers may remember our Charlie. Studio sound engineer has also been involved with booking our upcoming lounge event, which we'll talk about shortly. But first of all, Charlie, what have you been up to this month?
Well, I went to your gig.
Yeah.
So that was a good highlight. Yeah. No, that was very good. I very much enjoyed it, and it was a very good lineup as well, with Limeys and Jack as well. It was very good. So I've done that. This isn't quite so local, but I went over to Dublin to see My Bloody Valentine play, because they haven't played in like 8 years, and they're kind of like a unicorn, they're like a mythical creature of like the music world, and also they're one of my favourite bands. And the loudest, they were pushing like 116 dB the whole time.
The
so
video
it was like,
you showed me was crazy.
No, it was pretty deafening. And then they had projections going over the whole like 14,000 cap venue. It was pretty insane. It's probably my favourite gig I've ever been to now. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Wonderful. So, on upcoming events, and we're going to cover as much as we can for December and January, because we're doing things a little bit different over the festive period, but don't worry.
Because we are bringing you an epic extravaganza bonanza of a festive special during December. We invited back guests from our first 6 episodes for a special music-packed episode.
So it'll take you from Christmas with covers, carols and festive originals,
through the Twixtmas and into the new year, and give cheer to your January blues with original and new music for a number of brilliant local artists. Are we good to you or what?
Spoil. So keep your eyes peeled for that landing just before Christmas. But now let's talk about some of the upcoming December events. Let's start with the next Beckview Lounge event, because Charlie, you've been curating that and working on that. Tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, so the acts we've got this time, we're starting off, first band on, Don't Fret the Poet. So we know those guys.
We know
it's
them
Finn,
guys, they're wonderful.
Finn and Elliot and that. Oh, I think Elliot can't make it this time, but no.
We'll have to see who shows up.
Yeah. You'll have to come. Watch the live stream. We got Don't Fret the Poet. They're like Bridlington based, alt folk, that kind of thing. Started with Finn's acoustic stuff, which he plays all the time in Queen's Open Mic, and I love that. But I haven't seen him with a band, so I think that'll be pretty interesting.
It's wonderful.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful experience.
I'm very excited. So then after Don't Fret the Poet, we've got Madeline May, who's like an upcoming singer-songwriter from York. She's been on BBC Introducing, because Jericho's a legend, putting out really good acts all the time, just coming up. She does like that modern contemporary singer-songwriter sound. So that's like a good. I mean, Finn's stuff is quite sad, but then maybe we'll come down and get a little more sad. and then after that, to cap off the night, we've got Henry Gaston from Harrogate. He's soul and funk, so that's like the end of the night. It's just, I hope everyone gets out of their seats and starts dancing.
Oh, we're going to be boogieing in the control room.
Yeah, I'll be in my seat like jiving while doing the sound. So yeah, it'll be good. Henry's like, I think he started off doing covers stuff and like weddings and stuff, but then he's like done his own music, and then I've seen a few of the videos and like really good, catchy, funky, soul-y songs. So I'm really excited for that. It's a good mix and kind of like emotional, bit of a roller coaster.
We're going to take you on an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's going to be fabulous.
For sure.
So this event is part of Scarborough Fair's Winter Fringe Festival. There's lots going on for that. The festival runs between the 4th and the 7th of October, and we'll talk about the other Winter Fringe music events in just a second.
That we will. So just remind us, Charlie, when is the lounge event?
It's on Friday, the 5th of December, and you can buy tickets on the Beckview website, beckviewstudios.com, or you can get them from the Scarborough Fringe website too, as we're collaborating with them, and it's always good to help out local causes, stuff like that.
Absolutely fabulous. And as always, if you can't make it in person, you can watch the live stream from home, but it's really worth being here, and it's really lovely vibes on the night. It's like, you'd be surprised at how many people we can fit comfortably in this kitchen, and everyone's just having a chat. It's lovely. Good vibes.
It sounds absolutely fabulous. So the 6th of December during the Fringe certainly has loads of great music or musically linked events. I spotted the Shanty Marvels, the Saltburn Smugglers are also part of the Fringe. They're at Filey's Evron Centre that day.
And on the same day, Craft Bar is Through the Window, directed by Megan Hansen. It will feature poetry, writing and music starting at 7 p.m. and it's pay what you feel event as always, because Scarborough loves, good community support.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So Sky Steamer to Anthems, steampunk storytelling extravaganza in the YMCA's Lloyd Dawson. Do you give me the hard ones, Kat?
It is a proper tongue twister.
It is.
Lloyd Dawson, I think.
Lloyd Dawson Room. 2 musicians and 1 poet combining to create a spontaneous, chilled, laid-back 2-hour performance of beats, raps, poetry and eclectic music.
And Unrehearsed Mayhem, who are on the show this time out. They're part of the Fringe too. 7th of December for that one at Craft Bar. There's also lots of other events going on, comedy events like the Isolation Creations, big queer Fringe workshops with winter crafting and solstice songs, and wizarding workshops with Dan Parker, who we met back on episode 1 with Reverie, where you can make the most fabulous glitter sharks. I don't know if you saw those during the exhibitions for Scarborough Fair earlier this year, but they're just amazing. I want to know how to make
glitter sharks. So our brilliant food sponsors, the Crescent Lounge, are open to celebrate for Christmas parties. So if you still haven't booked one in, there's time. There will be live entertainment on every Thursday through Sunday throughout December. Mulled wine is back on, mince pies, hot chocolate, festive specials on the menu.
And actually, we need to just mention briefly our special Christmas parties happening there too, but more on that later. They've also got live entertainment on every day between Boxing Day and New Year. Everything will be listed on their socials and website, but we can mention that they have the fabulous Best Served Cold on New Year's Eve, and it's open to all, free entry.
Some December highlights for the Cask and Keg. On Friday the 5th, they have Shreds, a hardcore punk band from Sheffield, inspired by US hardcore. And then on Friday the 12th of December, they have an acoustic showcase night with Jez Echeverria. There we go, you're giving me the difficult ones as well. A.D. Sanders and Liam Kane. Boxing Day is Luminate Special. Luminate is their monthly dance music event, and then the Boxing Day Bonanza will kick off at 3 p.m.
Bridlington Stirling Castle have live music every weekend with Brid on the Map on the 12th of December, featuring original acts Spangled and January Jam, and their New Year's Eve party features covered band The Costellos.
Scarborough's Mojo's Music Cafe, their regular acoustic sessions are on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Those ones coming up will include Broken Oak, Elizabeth and Jameson, The Blow-Ins, Sharon Maher, Jenny Bray and Annie and the King throughout December.
And we'll cover some industry news and a little snow shower of January events in the next news from the scene. But as always, check the show notes, check the venue and artist socials, check Yorkshire Coast gigs and get involved.
Now it's time to get started on our guests with our wordsmith in the mix. It's Graeme Rhodess.
Wordsmith in the mix.
Viewer discretion is advised for this next section due to some of the topics, themes and language used.
Here we are with our wordsmith in the mix, Graeme Rhodess. Graeme.
Hello.
Welcome. How are you doing?
All right for an old gentleman.
The heart's going.
Yes, you've heard that before.
I think it's fair to say you're a legend of the scene, really, and equally you're difficult to define because you've got such a rich and varied career path. Novelist, scriptwriter, graphic designer, radio show host, poet. The title of rock and roll poet's perhaps a really fitting title for you. So we're going to have a chat with you in 2 parts. Firstly, a bit of a profile, and then later in the second half, we'll talk a bit more about current and local projects. So first, let's have a dive into your early careers. Just give us a really brief rundown of where you started out.
Started off in Leeds as an artist, drawing back streets of Leeds, and then moved to Harrogate. And in Harrogate, I got involved with a band called Wally, who were, I suppose we can call them prog rock now. And we used to have happenings back in the day. This would be about 72, and it was in a boozer which is no longer there anymore. It's M&S have built over it now. I'm trying to remember what it was called. Cockham Castle, that was it. And Johnny Middleton would be painting huge murals on the wall. Wally was sort of forming, they were playing all manner of instruments, and I was getting up and being a poet, and other people were poets. The nice thing that occurred was the guy that organised it, bless his soul, Graham Cardy, he one night gave 5 instruments to the first 5 people that came through the door and put them on. There you go, that's a nice band. And from there came this sort of hodgepodge of a band called the Mirror Boys. I moved down to London. Well, I had a poetry band, which we did quite a few gigs, and out of that came Jules the punk poet, who is still writing, who has represented Britain all over the world as a poet. Actually, had not done too bad to say she started with us. At 16, she ran away from us and joined Satan's Slaves and became a biker chick for a while. And she ended up being the graphic designer for the New Model Army and living with Justin from the New Model Army and got involved in all that scene. Meanwhile, I went down to London, put a band together. Well, first of all, I'd been down there a couple of months and the Mirror Boys rang me up and said, "Hey, we've got a gig in the Rock Garden. Can you come and do sound for us?" No great problem. So I went down there, did sound for them. And halfway through their set, this guy tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Can you do sound for us?" I said, "Yeah, sure, I will." So it's only a 3-pit. Oh, right, okay. Singer likes a lot of reverb. Yeah, no problem. So I said goodbye to the Mirror Boys. They went off back up north. Did the sound for this band, and I got invited to the after-gig party, which was in aid of a guy called Goat, who was going down for the next 15 years for manslaughter. And at the party, they said, "Well, what do you do?" I got talking to people, as you do. And I said, "Well, actually, I'm a graphic designer." I went, "Oh, we need a graphic designer." And that band was the Police on their 3rd ever gig. And I got involved with them. They said, "Come round." And I ended up, as I said, their graphic designer, but not just the Police. I think the best one of all was being graphic designer for all Miles's bands. And at that moment, he managed Scraze, Sham 69, Cramps, and a few others who, do you remember Root Boy Slim and the Sex Change Band?
No.
Trust me. I wish I didn't.
You've got a few examples for us, haven't you, of that graphic design period? We can have a quick look at some
I
of
will
these.
pass them around.
Pass them around.
Quite
so
Got
cool.
the Cramps and the
an
Police.
autographed first cover for the first ever Police single.
Now, I don't know if I've mentioned this to you, Graeme, but I am a massive fan of the Police, so this is like...
Well, that's before
cool.
Andy Summers joined. Because Andy Summers joined just before the first album. He was a French guy called Henry Podowski, I believe, who, funnily enough, this year just released a really great record. He's become a French chanteur. But all the years is done... Oh, and I also did Ghost Dance, which was quite interesting because they've just reformed and they announced it was 40 years since they formed, and that was their first single, which I designed and did their logo for.
Show us that programme as well.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
You don't really get this anymore, do you? Like actual programmes
tour
for
programmes.
a gig or a tour.
Goodness me.
I think they should make a comeback. We should have like proper tour programmes for
There you go.
things.
And,
These are beautiful.
it was great working with the Cramps because they were totally and utterly insane. And they
what I
turned
want,
me on
really,
to
isn't it?
psychobilly. And to this day, I love psychobilly. But working with Lux Interior, he had a really weird habit. And what he'd do if he was getting bored or didn't like you, he'd flip his eyes. So all you could see were the whites, and you couldn't see his pupils, and you didn't know where to look. It was really like... And Poison Ivy would go, "Stop." Well, no, I can't say what she said, but she would ask him to resist.
As well as working with the bands and doing all that kind of thing, you also spent some time in a kind of more corporate environment as well, didn't you?
It was in the rock and roll circuits, but at the same time, it wasn't earning that much because Miles Copeland was a tight-fisted so-and-so. But he did a couple of nice things for me. He got me to see Spirit Free, and he designed the first ever... I designed a couple of Spirit albums, and they were mine. I love Spirit, still do. Randy California, possibly the greatest guitarist that ever lived. Discuss. But I was also working in the corporate sector because we got involved in AV, which back in those days was linking projectors to punch tape, making them fade and dissolve. And we started off on 3 projector units and then ended up on, well, sort of 6. America brought out a computer called Spindler and Sorp, and it controls 6 projectors, and our technicians discovered if you cannibalised them, you got a 12 projector show, and we were designing for things like that. Won a couple of awards for the Kestrel Lager launch. Does anybody remember Kestrel Lager? And from there, I ended up designing 56 projector shows for car launches and stuff like that. And even got me images on the Pink Floyd screen, which was quite nice for an Austin Rover car launch, which was really, really sort of cool because we took over a castle. And we had all the guests come up onto the ballroom and they all had their fancy meal. And then we blew the wall off the boardroom. And it just literally blew the wall away, and there was the Pink Floyd screen and the fleet of Austin Rover cars. Yeah, it's just exactly like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I mean, it was in the 80s, and in the 80s we had things called budgets, and they were big, and we spent them. You know, the company I used to work for used to say that our... what was it? Our imagination is as big as your budget, and you'll run out of budget before we can run out of our imagination. And I mean, we did loads of tricks, mainly because involved in blowing the wall off this building, we'd built a false building on the side of a false room, and it was held with hydraulic jacks. The next 8 shows we had to involve in hydraulic jacks to get our money back. The next thing we did was we did a reveal on a real 747, and that was pretty cool in Gatwick. Yeah, they were great days. They were marvellous. I even once got London Bridge closed and had a firework display off it because we did a product launch for a computer in the Tower of London. And I got told off for the Crown for suggesting they carved the meat on the block. Didn't go down well.
No. So your time in York is where you first got dubbed the rock and roll poet.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that.
Well, in London, as well as doing all that, I sort of had a folk rock comedy band called Arkwright's Ferret, and performed. Well, we were voted the best. It's ridiculous, but we were voted London's best folk band 2 years running, which was very stupid. It just says how bloody awful the rest of them were. But anyway, and when I came back up north, I got headhunted to head up a company in York, so I ended up in York, and I got incredibly bored and discovered a pub called the Roman Baths and discovered the York music scene of the late 80s, early 90s. And that was really sort of a guy called Gary Barrett who had about 4 or 5 bands straight after each other, Stone Cold Sober, Life Support, and I started supporting them, as well as another band called All Those Orphans, and we played all over the north together with me in the middle. And I think it's the scariest gig I've ever done out of 50 years of performance poetry was a biker festival up at Barnard Castle, and we knew it was going to be heavy when we discovered a police cordon 5 miles around the site.
Oh my God. And
the only things that were passing us were John Smith's beer trucks. And we got there, and I can remember saying, hang on a minute, how long had they been drinking? And they said 3 days. Right. Anyway, they paid us. The band went on and died a death in front of 200 of these drunk. I have never, ever seen that band die before. And I was like... And the organiser said, well, you're next, what do you do? I said, I do poetry. They went, oh, God.
Oh, no.
Give us the money, and you give us the money back. And I said, no, I can't. I've just bought this ounce of grass with it. Oh... I said, look, what's their favourite record? They said, Alice Cooper's School's Out. I said, right, OK, play that. Put the spotlight onto that one mic in the middle. And when you see me move from that mic really quickly, play School's Out again. So School's Out, I'll walk out onto the stage, and they're all... And it didn't help that I had a red leather jacket on. You don't like red leather jackets. You've got to be black leather jackets for a biker. Red leather is a sign of...
What's it a sign of?
Well, stupidity, I think.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, no. You're a fake biker if you've got a red leather jacket on.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. You're going to take yours back now.
I am. I'm not messing on like that.
And so I walked out, and they're all... So I rolled a joint in front of them. It was about a 9 Skinner. And I managed to time it perfectly. I lit it just as School's Out finished, blew a huge plume of smoke into this light, which looked really cool. I said, right, time for some poetry. Bang! Straight into the set. Thank you very much, my name is God. And there was silence. And then this huge bloke walked out of the audience. And I knew his name was Bear because he had the word tattooed on his forehead. And he came up to me, climbed onto the stage, and I thought, well, if he punches me, he's so big I won't feel it. I'll just go straight out. Grabbed me, kissed me full on the lips, used his tongue, which was totally out of order, turned to the audience and went, poetry, poetry, poetry. And 200 bikers all went, poetry, poetry, poetry. And I got this standing ovation. I walked off stage and the band went, you lucky.
And I think on that note, it's a perfect place to leave part 1. You can read about all of this and much more in detail in Graeme's first autobiography, The View from the Pink Monster, and that's a story we didn't get time to tell either. Your time with the Monster Munch, but another time. When we come back for part 2, we'll actually hear some of your poems and cover more of your life in Scarborough. And we still won't have touched the sides. We know that. Next, we are going to talk more to your bandmates, your mates in Mayhem, Elliot Palucci and Bryn Andrews, to find out more about them and the project that you opened the show with for us, Unrehearsed Mayhem. Thank you very much. Part 1, Graeme Rhodess. Now we're going to have a video from Rocketsmith. They're kicking off a new chapter with some brand new members, fresh energy and the same spirit that's carried them this far. Here's the video for their new single, Hearts and Minds. This song is for anyone who's ever loved, lost, fought for someone or held on through the hardest moments, whether it's a relationship that's faded or someone you've had to say goodbye to. The song is about the battles we face inside our own hearts and minds and the strength it takes to keep going.
Another day, beneath the wave of silence, hope was tumbling like a sandcastle in the ocean's way. With a sunken heart, a dreamer's mind, she summoned the strength to say, this one's for hope, this one's for the stand up and fight, for all the dreams that seem just out of reach, still in
Artist Chat.
Welcome, Unrehearsed Mayhem. How are we doing?
Very well.
Doing well.
Very well.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thanks
So,
for having us.
of course, thanks for joining us. So we've got Graeme, Bryn, and Elliot. So you each bring something quite different to the Mayhem. So we want to give you all a little spotlight. So Bryn, we'll start with you. I know your route into music is a little bit different to some of the stories we hear. Tell us all about it.
Well, I've always listened to music, but then when it came to creating music, because I could never sing when I was younger, so it was obviously singing was not an option. And I was all right at playing the guitar, but was never that good. And then I kind of gave up after having to learn bloody bad chords.
Oh, they're
I was
savage.
like, no, thank you.
They're savage.
Yeah, so I stopped there. And then, but I was interested in writing. So because I couldn't sing, I ended up rapping. And I found that's a good way to... And then I went and did philosophy at uni. And I was like, this is great because I get all these amazing ideas into these words and now it's actually going to sound appealing rather than some massive essay that's all dry and it takes ages to understand. So
Yeah.
that's where it all
Awesome.
began.
So you work as a mental health recovery worker.
Yes, I do at the minute.
And is it right that you're looking at starting up your own practice with...
Yes, I suppose
Yeah.
you could say that. I'm looking at starting a meditation business. So yeah, I've been learning to meditate in the last couple of years and I have found it amazing for just calming down the mind and actually coming to understand that life can be enjoyable, very enjoyable in fact. And I just wanted other people to be able to have the opportunity to learn that as well because yeah, it's amazing.
Do you find that the music links with that?
Definitely, yeah. When you're getting nervous, for example, you can just focus your mind into the moment, forget about all that rubbish, and it'll fade away, and you can just get on with what you're doing.
Awesome.
Lovely. And that's New Growth, you're as on socials, isn't it?
So the meditation business is called Meditate Yorkshire, and I've got Instagram page. I don't know if I've gotten around to a Facebook page yet because I've been focusing more on this music for now. So yeah.
Yeah, we'll put links to all of that in the show notes, of course.
Thank you.
Elliot, your route into music was kind of more family and home influences, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Please tell me about your Elvis obsession.
Oh, yeah. Well, basically from when I was, very small, my mum's favourite artist was Elvis, and the only records we'd have would be Elvis. So, obviously, I was obsessed with Elvis. And I was like, well, guitar, done, rock and roll, look at his hair, it's mint. And then I think about 8 years old, or 9 years old, and my mum, Christmas Day, come down, open this thing, right? Full, homemade, fully homemade, home sewn,
Right.
rhinestone jumpsuit.
Ooh.
Tassels and all.
You got a good
Incredible thing. And I was enamoured. So I was just running around the house with my guitar all day.
Do pictures exist of this?
There will be what I'll ask my mum because she'll know exactly where it'll be.
I think because we
Can
can
we
link that
edit
in the
some
show.
in?
I think a couple of years ago we did find it. So it's probably in the attic. In the it's like that bit on Indiana Jones where it's all crates. And then it zooms out and
The basement.
yeah.
And I just want to run through some of your other projects first. I mean, you're well known on the Scarborough scene as 1/3 of the fabulous Fuzz Junkies, who've been going for ever, really.
Longer than most things.
Yeah. And Fuzz Junkies is mostly covers with your own twist on, but actually I was really delighted to hear some Fuzz Junkies originals at the Cask Halloween gig the other week. We're obviously going to talk about Graeme Watson later, so what I'd love to hear a bit more about right now is it's kind of a solo project where you collaborate a lot, isn't it? But I also got to hear these at the Rainer Rocha gig at the Cask, but that's...
The neck fell off.
Yes, and everything just collapsed.
Yeah, it's
But
brilliant,
that's Ferryfet. So tell us a bit about Ferryfet.
The name came from Ferrycock side, which is what's on magnetic tape, on tape recorders and things, and FET from MOSFET amplifiers, because you can drop them downstairs and they don't break like valve ones. And it's just what I used. So I initially started it because I wanted a cheap tape delay. So I managed to find a reel-to-reel with 3 heads and made my own tape delay. And then I discovered tape loops, and then I was like, weird ambient stuff. And I just went from there. I just collab with people. I'll play guitar, play machines, synthesizers. Play with a fella called Subed, who Jason Leach. He does like really horrible techno. That's good fun. My friend Jamie, who has releases under A Beautiful Burning World. I've done art exhibitions with him and stuff like installations at Woodend, things like that, and yeah, just muck about.
Muck about is the technical term.
Yeah.
Love it. So, Unrehearsed Mayhem as a unit, Elliot and Bryn, you met at the skate park, is that right?
Yeah, we did.
Where all the best things happen.
Yes. Definitely.
Awesome. And how did you meet Graeme?
God, I was a
At the
fan
skate
of.
park as well.
At the skate park?
I've been a fan of Fuzz Junkies ever since I first saw them yonks ago. And last year, I think it was last year, I did a sort of album of poetry using his backing tapes. And Mr. Jim did some twiddly bits on top of it. And since I did that, it's always been my mind. And I sort of had a word with him and said, come on, why don't we do something together? And then I was at an open mic and saw Bryn doing his thing and thought, wow, that fits perfectly. It really will. And so Bryn and I started sort of doing it at open mics and things. Then Elliot joined and the rest is what you've just seen.
And it's a really unique sound. So, bit of backstory for people watching at home. We were supposed to film this before the day that we're filming now, but there was too much snow, wasn't there? It wasn't feasible. We couldn't come in.
Not ideal.
But it was really good because it meant I got to come to the gig on Friday at is it Old Parcels office?
Railway.
Oh, Railway Club. I get these two mixed up. They're
quite close together.
Yeah.
It was awesome though. It was awesome. It was the first time I've seen you in, I think I've seen you all individually, but like
With our lights.
with the lights. Yeah, we got the
Nice
flashing lights
setup
on.
that
There
we
was
had.
someone on bongo as well.
Oh, as if
Yeah.
joined in, yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
wonderful.
so
I played with as if as well.
I mean, it's a bit embarrassing, but we were described as Pink Floyd meets Brian Patton. It'd have been more effective if Brian Patton hadn't died that week. But, hey ho,
We're taking his place, it's fine.
So just a quick one. It's with like all of the loopy stuff. Is it different every time you do it?
Yeah.
Or do you have is there anything that's programmed in that stays the same, or is it's all completely live?
Right, yeah, so everything that Elliot does is he just mixes it
makes
up
it
all
up
the
on the
time.
spot.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is I've got a few bass lines and some lyrics, and then I'll just every time I do the drums, I don't remember the drums, so it'll probably be quite similar, but every time I do it, it'll be different. So I just wanted to clarify that because I saw on the poster it was said unrehearsed, or was it unrehearsed music or something like that, and I didn't want people to think we were cheating them or whatever.
Yeah,
'Cause you might hear the same thing a few times, but hopefully it will be slightly different every single time.
And
But it will be.
I have a huge, well, you can see it, I have a huge stack of poems. And I will read the one that I think fits the vibe these two have set up.
Yeah.
So you'll never hear the same poem.
So it's like
there's no
improvised on the spot.
Totally improvised, yeah.
Look, how do you remember what's in there? There's how many's there? Like 3? How many?
Well, I'll bring them out next time. 5 bookfuls.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Spoiled for choice.
A lot of words.
No, because funnily enough, it's difficult to find the one that fits the vibe. He sets the vibe, he amplifies it, and I've got to go.
Where's that one I'm looking for?
Exactly. Yeah, it's got to be one. It's got to be one.
Oh, well, I'm super intrigued. Do we think it's time that we hear some Unrehearsed Mayhem?
Definitely, yeah.
Awesome.
You
If you'd
want
like
to
to make
make
your way over to the
there.
band area.
Start when you're ready.
Leggies.
That was wonderful. Huge thanks to Unrehearsed Mayhem for coming and having a chat with us. Now let's hear their performance.
outside, the rain falls, bouncing across the tarmac, blurring the yellow lines. A man turns up his collar and walks faster. Bad weather for the street cats, stops their prowling, hiding under shelter, under sheds, behind walls. Tonight, even the rats will stay home. Riverman walks the banks, watching the flow, standing motionless to watch the heron spear its lunch, watching the ripples caused by the waterfalls swimming out of sight into the safety of the reeds, watching as the water changes colour and the polluting sludge fills the pockets and bank accounts of the water company's shareholders, and the riverman weeps.
I'm just with my life like I got millions and billions. It's time to make a decision. Will you live what you envision, or will you die never to quite find that peace of mind? Because either's fine. I just happen to be cropping a beat, make this floor feel like water. Can forget what they torture. Living that life is a life of torture. We as people need to be bringing Babylon to order, but not by overwhelming force. Remember to forget everything that you've been taught, because of course it comes from core and not the chords. What is it to be alive now? What can I do it with my life? What is it to be alive now? What can I do it with my life?
The night walker passed this way last night. You woke in the early hours as your shadow crossed your bed. Then you lay there in the darkness, listening to your own heartbeats, and wondering if it was a dream, and dreading that it wasn't.
That's a mind state, something you can do for the rest of your life. That's a force, it's a course. You've heard it all before, but you never heard it this way. Take a breath and then take another. We're in no rush because we've been doing this forever, but I think we both agree that it's time for something better. I think we both agree that it's time for to do something better.
trenches again last night. Miles of mud, entanglements of barbed wire. Crows feeding off the rotting corpses that were once soldiers. Shell holes bigger and deeper than swimming pools. These days I try not to sleep, because tonight I know we'll be back in that no man's land, surrounded by dead men's trenches. Choked and died on the pieces of red rubber that were fallen from a clear blue sky.
Thank you to Graeme, Bryn and Elliot for that. That was wonderful. Now we are going to have some more news from the scene.
News from the scene.
So we've got Beckview Studio manager Christina with us for this one. We're going to talk about some important industry news. But first things first, how are you?
Oh, very well, thank you.
Good.
Been enjoying all the music so far on the show.
Super chilled vibes.
Yeah,
Super chilled.
on the day of recording, it was just really awesome, nice, friendly.
So we've also got a very special event coming up that we need to mention, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yeah, very excited. So we will be doing a bit of a North Sea Soundcheck, Yorkshire Coast Gigs, Beckview Studios, mashup, Christmas party, extravaganza.
So it's going to be at the Crescent Lounge because they've fed us all year long. Where else could it possibly be?
It's open to everyone to come along as well. So we really hope that you would be able to make it down to the Crescent Lounge on the 13th of December. We're going to have a very chilled open mic night running. So feel free to bring your instruments, but the rest of us will be off duty, but it's a wonderful opportunity for anyone who wants to come and meet the team or get to know us a little bit better, or anyone who's worked with us over this past year to come down and just celebrate and have some festive cheer.
So that's on Saturday, the 13th of December at the Crescent Lounge from 8:30 p.m. onwards. We'll see you there.
Indeed, and we'd love to see you there. Now, from parties, we're going to have a little bit of industry news. Before we talk about some January events, something really exciting for all of us here around Beckview Studios is that you appear in the brand new This Is Music 2025 report. We're going to chat about the report as well, but just tell us, how much of a surprise was it to sort of see yourselves in there?
Well, it wasn't so much of a surprise because we had been contacted before to request some pictures that might be able to be used, but we didn't know 100% that they would be. So obviously when the report was published, I was straight on Googling it, and then lo and behold, I saw the back of Chris's head in the middle of it.
Who took the photo of the back of Chris's head?
Well, that was our Dave.
Our
David
Dave.
Ruston, yes. Local music
Dave.
photographer, my co-director of Yorkshire Coast Gigs CIC, and of course our North Sea Soundcheck photographer. Obviously he couldn't be with us today for this bit of filming, but when he watches this, we're just going to give him a little round of applause for that, aren't we? Well done, Dave! So just a really nice moment for the studio and for the regional music community, really, to see that featured in there.
It was, and especially because the UK music report, This Is Music, is it's it's a national report on the health of the economic health of the UK music industry. So this report is sent to government, and it assesses the entire UK industry, and it's spread, widely and available for everyone to read. So it is super exciting that not just like that we were featured like as a picture in there, but it's also just a good report to read and digest and understand what's happening in the industry.
I know that, Christina, you feel quite passionately about some of the issues that were raised. Do you want to talk us through that?
I can indeed. So essentially, as I said before, it's an economic review of the health of the UK industry. It gathers statistical data from all sorts of different sources, and it aims to show how the industry is performing, highlighting the opportunities and challenges that might shape the next few years. Essentially, there's a mix of strong progress and emerging concerns. So even though I'm not going to quote too many statistics, because people can go and look at the report themselves and read them themselves, on the positive side, the industry, it notes that it's contributed a record £8 billion to the UK economy in 2024, with exports of £4.8 billion as well, and that there was employment noted at a record high of around 220,000 full-time equivalent jobs. So that's a huge contribution to the UK economy. However, on the flip side of that, it does also note that growth has somewhat slowed from previous years, and it reports that there are some growing concerns, especially in the arenas like AI and intellectual property protection, with about 90% of musicians surveyed highlighting that they want stronger protections around their intellectual property. It's also a concern that it's taking longer for artists to break through. Plus, there are also some ongoing concerns regarding touring in a post-Brexit Europe.
So on the one hand, we're talking about how valuable the music industry is to the UK, and on the other, we can see sort of things are a little bit harder for artists at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously it's a holistic report, so it is really honest with what it's looking at. But within that, it is also highlighting the opportunities that come from these challenges. So it's important that we understand what these challenges are so we can look at what needs to be done and how it can be fixed. So, for instance, Yvette Cooper, who is the Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs, contributed to the report, and she notes that the government has committed to £10 million a year for the next 3 years for something called the Music Growth Package. That will include and is designed to support touring, exports, mentoring and grassroots development for artists. So that is an opportunity there for mid-level artists and emerging artists to have better access to international opportunities and industry pathways.
Brilliant. So how is UK music responding to all of this?
So Tom Keel, the Chief Executive for UK Music, obviously highlights in his bit about the concerns about AI and touring and the needs to change, and his message is essentially we're strong but we're at a turning point. So, and that kind of sets the tone really, I think, for the whole report.
Because as we sort of well know, the impact of things like this can really be felt differently, especially here in the regions. It kind of comes at us more sharply, like slower growth, pressures on grassroots venues, fewer development pathways outside of big cities, just really makes things tougher, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, but at the same time, there are a lot of people doing amazing things in the regions to support this development and this growth, and this commitment from the government, when we see that coming through, should also help, you know, boost that. And I mean, I do also want to say that, like, what we're trying to do here at North Sea Soundcheck, which is to raise, you know, the profile of emerging artists and the local music scene, and as well as the work that Yorkshire Coast Gigs are doing, and the packages that we support here at the studio, are also still trying to bolster that, and a lot of other producers and industry bodies in our area. So there is good feeling, I think, for people.
There is. I think especially in like we've spoken before about the Yorkshire music scene. It doesn't feel like it's Scarborough scene, it's Bridge scene, it's Hull scene, it's Beverley scene. It's like this sort of East North Yorkshire. It feels like we're all looking after each other, and we all sort of hop everywhere and go to everything and just support everything that's going on. I think there's a really strong community feel in our neck of the woods.
There doesn't seem to be a them and us, or I suppose most people that we're coming across don't want there to be a them and us situation. It's like we're all in this together. Whatever's positive for one part of the sector is positive for all of the sector, and I think we all get that, and I think that's where our strengths lie, I think, in these regional communities.
So what are the key takeaways from this report?
I'm going to have to turn my page and consult. So it's pretty much what we've just said already, which is that the industry does remain very strong, but the next few years will also be crucial for the long-term growth of the sector. Investment, touring access, technology policy and grassroots support will all shape what's possible, not just for this generation, but for the next generation of artists coming through. And that, I think, is really the concern, is like, where are these artists going to be in 20 years' time and beyond? And it's also a moment to pay attention, but also a moment of possible, real opportunity for regions like ours. So watch this space, and I'm going to be continuing to watch what's happening, and we'll be bringing it to everyone on this show.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for kind of breaking that down and making it really digestible for us as well. Next up, talking of music, as we often do, we've got Stray Scene with their new single, HMP.
Slip up a tree and I can't wait no more. Light a cigarette, shut it breath. Follow the crowd, look down at the floor. Coming down, you be a man. I can't wait no more now. Now that you're cracking up, staring at the four walls. Now that you're coming down, now I see the sky flashing.
News from the scene.
Okie dokie, let's have a look at some January events because scarily enough, it's almost here.
So close.
Oh my goodness me. So we'll start with the Crescent Lounge on the 17th of January. They have the Guy Miller Band, a young indie band from Glasgow, making their Scarborough debut, playing with Britpunks, Tempest Flare, who are fantastic. I love Tempest Flare.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
On the 24th of January, they've got Lunar Rebellion at the Crescent. They're a female-fronted rock group from Scarborough and Pickering. I've heard they're awesome, so I'll try and check that one out for sure.
Then on the 31st of January, they have an awareness night in aid of Andy's Man Club. So there'll be lots of acts and artists and representatives from the club talking about what they do. And it will be a great night of music.
We have had some bands get in touch. We love that, by the way. Please don't ever stop to give us the gossip on their album plans for the coming months. So first of all, Argham, our amazing prog rockers from Bridlington, they're going to be recording an album. They said it might be late 2026 before it's ready, but we'll keep you posted because we really cannot wait for that.
And Blimburn, young experimental soul and jazz from Brid and Scarborough, are also working on a self-titled album. So go follow them on Instagram for updates.
Circling back finally to some recent releases, you should definitely go and check out, first of all, Scarborough punk duo Active Minds, not only celebrating 40 years since formation on New Year's Day, but their album, Things That Cannot Be Unseen, is now available.
Rocket Smith, who were featured in the show, will have an album out in the first half of 2026.
Feral Family have a new single, Down in the Dirt, out now, and their EP should drop in early 2026.
And Hull's Pavey Ark have a new album out now. For a dose of alternative folk, check out More Time, More Speed, and we will be playing that video within the show as well, so I hope you enjoy it. Now, whilst we won't be filming a regular episode in December, make sure to keep your eyes on the Yorkshire Coast Gigs socials and website, where we'll continue to share links and info for upcoming events and releases throughout the festive period. We never stop, we're just always on. So when January events get announced, we'll keep you updated on there.
And it's now the time to mention that whilst, again, we're not filming a regular episode for January, what we have for you instead is going to be utterly epic. We've got an amazing festive special coming your way.
So it's in two sections, so you can get your proper Christmassy vibes in for part one, where we've got some really traditional carols and winter-themed tunes, some covers and originals, some pop hits and indie rock from an amazing lineup of local artists. So they were picked from the first 6 episodes of North Sea Soundcheck. It was really nice to catch up with everyone. It was. It's lovely.
We have also got some poetry, of course, welcoming back one of our wordsmiths, and the second half will give you a warm hug as you shrug off the tinsel and move into the crisp new year air.
Indeed, it's an absolute smorgasbord of original tunes from a wide variety of artists from across the Yorkshire coast, a few Christmas covers mixed in, and full of faces that will be familiar to you if you've been paying attention to the show since we started.
So expect an early Christmas present from us all in the final days before Santa arrives, with a sack full of great performances and some chit-chat as we catch up with some of the artists we've featured in our earliest shows.
So the North Sea Soundcheck Festive Special is coming soon. And don't forget about our Christmas party at the Crescent Lounge on the 13th of December from 8:30 p.m.
Now we will welcome back poet Graeme Rhodess to tell us more about his current projects and treat us to a couple of poems after this video from Pavey Ark. Here is Yesterday Is Done, and if you feel like you've seen some of the artwork before, well, you might have done. This video features artwork by Annabelle McCourt from her touring exhibition entitled I'm Sorry. This video was shot at Humber Street Gallery in Hull, but the artwork recently toured Scarborough's old parcels office, so lots of opportunities to have seen it around and about the region, and it really does look amazing in this video. Enjoy.
Sorry, 2 words, too much air between them. These worries, hot coals to the cold of the ocean. Bleach these blues white on the sand. Are you ready? So how can these days from one yesterday is done?
Wordsmith in the mix.
Hello, and we would like to welcome back Graeme. Hello.
Hello.
It's lovely to have you back.
Well, thank you very much.
So we're going to pick up with the fact that you moved into Scarborough in 2000s. Was it in the year 2000?
2000, yeah.
So we had a chat in the kitchen earlier that you sort of said you fell asleep on a train and woke up in Scarborough, but I don't think that's how we really got here. On the Northern Line. So how did you find yourself here?
I've been gigging in York for ages and ages, and two things brought me here. My parents were in the 90s and they were living in Humbenby, so it was being a bit near to them because I've been distant from most of my working life. And it was down to Captain Ants, who we both used to write for a magazine in York called Look For It. And he kept saying, "Oh, you want to come to Scarborough? It's really nice in Scarborough. You want to come to Scarborough?" And I ended up in Scarborough, and the first year I came here, where was Captain Ants? He was in New Zealand. So there we go. So here I am.
So just decided to stick around. Ahoy. Ahoy. We got the ahoy in. We got the...
But I also, for my 50th birthday, which... I'm so old, right? I remember Captain Ants before he had a beard. And for my 50th birthday, the woman I was with at the time commissioned a Gibson Flying V guitar, life-size, made out of cake by Captain Ants. And it was presented to me on stage in York.
Did you try to play it?
Well, what I really was always impressed about was that for the strings, he spray-painted spaghetti. Silver. There you go.
Thinking outside the box,
Absolutely.
Love it. So you've also been running a gallery selling your art and photography on Scarborough's West Pier.
Yeah, I opened a gallery in 2009. I was a bit bored. I'd given up being a video director. I was still a script writer, but I was a bit bored. And I sort of had all these photographs that I've been taking for a while. And I went round every gallery in Scarborough saying, "You want to get it?" And they all went, "Go away, no.
Oh.
And if I'd have been a young, upcoming artist, I'd been really, really upset. Yeah. But I'd worked in corporate for 40 years and I'd been used to having work rejected. In fact, I can remember doing some work for Miles Copeland and they all sat and threw tomatoes, I said. But, you know, that was rock and roll. But no, that was sort of the way it happened. But I did a Sea Fest, one of the really early Sea Fests. Took a stall there and sold out. And I thought, well, the public seemed to like it. And I looked up and there was a tiny little office on the pier that was up for rent. So I rang up the council and the council went, beady, strokey moment. And they wouldn't allow me to open a shop but I could open a gallery. Hence, I'm a gallery and not a shop. The fact that I sell things has absolutely got nothing to do with it, but hey-ho. So I opened the gallery there, and it turns out that I'm Scarborough's second longest surviving gallery.
Oh.
Wow.
Which is bizarre. And then, of course, Captain Ant's moved in down the street from me, and so we pair of us sit up there and dream up silly things.
We'll have to come visit the gallery.
We will.
Next year we've got because there's grants going round for bizarre things, we're going to play the gallery next year. It's got so many holes in, the building is so dilapidated that we're going to put hose pipes in it, put trumpet mouthpieces on the end of it, and invite people to come up and play it.
Oh, I love that.
So hopefully we'll get a grant for that.
How many are we going to have?
As many as we want. I mean, we can buy a big hose pipe and chop it up into little pieces.
To be fair, you helped with a situation earlier with the, was it the corn?
Oh, the spider.
There was a spider in the corn.
There it goes.
There it goes.
I think you better explain that.
We have some props. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. But there was a spider in the corn. Is it the horn? Is it a cornet or a horn? What is it? This small instrument.
I'd say it's a horn.
A horn.
Yeah, well, there's a few horns in the room.
There is. They're dotted about. We'll get to them later. But there was a spider in it, wasn't there? And you helped me out, so thank you for that.
Yeah. So you're
Well, I helped the spider out. Actually.
You did help the spider out.
You're doing your art and photography. You're still writing scripts for computer games, amongst other things.
Yeah, I started off that. I was really lucky, and that's when I lived in York. I knew a guy who knew somebody, blah, 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 and I wrote a script for it. The next thing I know, I'm out in Germany writing a script for one of the first Xbox games called Jaeger.
Which you can show us.
Yeah,
You can show us.
There you go.
Ooh. But you're actually doing something brand new for you at the moment as well. Just quickly tell us about that.
In this past year, I've written a virtual reality game, which is different to a linear game. But I've also written the rules and regulations for a board game called Rhodes, which will never be seen in Europe. It's only for America. And that's been a really interesting thing. And it's nice writing for all these different formats. I mean, you know, when I first started writing scripts, I think they were hammered on stone out of chisel, you know, back in the day. But I've written for every format, from AV, video walls, right through. I mean, bear in mind, I'm so old that, you know, the internet didn't exist when I first started. And all of my work is via the internet now.
All that writing, of course, a thread that's run through your life, we arrive at other strands, the poetry and the novel writing. Your books are available on Amazon. Just tell us briefly about two characters, Agnes. And Matt Johnson.
Years ago, in the 90s, I was employed by an American film company to write the script of the life of John Paul Jones, not the bass player of Led Zeppelin. And if you read English history, John Paul Jones is a Scottish pirate. If you read American history, he's the founder of the American Navy.
Oh.
So,
Trumpet again.
so I wrote that, I think it was about 95. And then leaped forward to Scarborough, and about 2010, 11-ish, I'm sat in the gallery and I suddenly look out and I see the sea and I suddenly realise, hang on a minute, that's where John Paul Jones had his famous sea battle. And it seems to be totally forgotten in Scarborough. We don't capitalise on it. The council just don't sell it. Whereas if you go to Whitehaven and where it comes from, there's a John Paul Jones trail and it gets about 5,000 to 10,000 American tourists a year. But hey-ho. And I thought, we need to write about this, because I had all the research notes. So I sort of started writing it, and then from nowhere, this 300-year-old woman called Agnes and a cat called Marmaduke came into play. Marmaduke is a cat... Well, Agnes lives in Princess Street in the Old Town, and I can openly say that because I used to live in that house, and I based it on that house. And what's hilarious is that people go to that house now and look for Agnes. Never upset a writer. He'll get you back eventually. But she is a 300-year-old woman, but when she goes down the cellar, through a door that isn't there, She comes out in the late 1700s, where she's the acknowledged witch of Scarborough, and the cat turns into a 6-foot-high ex-highwayman with strange cat-like powers. And now we've got 15 books into the series, and they have adventures based in time, not space, but just in different things. But the history is 100% accurate.
You love doing your
Whereas
historical
the
research,
fantasy
don't
and the
you?
characters.
Yeah.
And as for the book, well, I've got a copy of that here. I didn't bring an Agnes, but here we go. Everybody's rocking. And that's Matt Johnson. Matt Johnson is a journalist for the Daily Herald in 1958 who started off writing the jazz column, but as the adventures go on, he's got an entire music column now. And he hated skiffle. He was a pure jazz man until he fell in love with his girlfriend Anna, who is in a skiffle group. And it's all based around the history of English rock and roll, because it's based in Soho in 1957 and 58. I worked in Soho, but that was in the early 70s, late 70s, when punk was around. But that was the old Soho before it was gentrified. And so a lot of it is the same streets that I used to walk in, where the prostitutes still hang out in Archer Street, by the White Horse. Cheapo Records was round the corner where you could buy really great albums for £1. Hey-ho. But anyway, he gets involved. The first adventure, he reviews a saxophone player from the north, and he was writing the review, and then they find his body in the river the next day. And so he discovers how he got killed, how that happened. So he becomes the jazz detective. The second one, he discovers that an agent commits suicide by jumping out of the 4th floor in a Denmark Street office. And so he discovers there's a plot there to put agents out of business. But along the way, we get the story of English rock and roll, because 57, 58 was a seminal year. Skiffle was just happening. But in the late 57, Muddy Waters came to England and played an electric guitar. And within weeks, everybody were electrified. And that sort of started the early rock and roll. So, Adam Faith gets name-checked, Cliff Richards, and the Drifters, because they weren't the Shadows till 59. Yeah. So there you go. So and I'm halfway through the third one now.
Excellent. Any idea of what date that's due out, or is that just as and when?
When
you So finally, coming right back to the poetry, you've got numerous volumes of collected poetry. We already talked about your 500 or so that you bring just to a gig. And you have a poetry autobiography, 52 years of performance poetry, or How John Otway Ate My Curry. Is that right?
Did.
And so your own output's undeniable. But what you've also done over the years for budding and developing poets is immense as well. Talk to us about the Wordsmiths open mics.
Throughout my performance life as a poet, mainly outside, because I hated poetry clubs, I hated poetry societies, but I've always been the rock and roll poet. But throughout there, people have always come up to me and whispered, I like poetry as well. I read poetry, I write poetry. And I've always thought, these people have got nowhere to take it. And a few years ago, I decided to do an open mic for poetry. And we started in a cafe up on Castle Road, and that closed down. So we went to Indigo Alley, performed to about 2 men and a dog. And then one day the dog didn't turn up. And then Indigo went through a little weird period and closed. And as it happened, Catrice at the craft bar had lost a licence, or couldn't have a licence for music, but she could have for spoken word. Marriage Made in Heaven started up there, and that was 2-3 years ago now, and it's just gone from strength to strength. I mean, we normally have between 15 and 20 people getting up and reading their poetry, which is great. I mean, what always amazes me, having living in Leeds, Harrogate, London and York, Scarborough just amazes me for the talent that's here, not only of musicians, singer-songwriters, but the standard of poetry that's coming out of the people around here. Although, having said that, we're getting people from Leeds, from Hull, from Driffield, coming just to perform at the open mic. So it's provided a really good vehicle for people to get it off their chests. We are poets. We can say things out loud. And, long may it survive.
Fantastic.
Well, and poetry is always best read aloud.
Yeah,
Yeah, so having that
otherwise
platform
you
is really
murmur to your
important.
cat and that's
Is it? And the dog, if the dog shows up.
Well, yeah. No, they never did again.
No.
Dogs don't like poetry.
No.
Cats cats dig it, but dogs no. No, trust me.
So, Graeme, I'd like to invite you to read some of your poems, if that would be okay.
That'll be all right.
Would that be all right?
Well, why not?
Amazing. So, let's hear some poetry.
Righty here. Do I get up and move?
Yeah, yeah. We've got a lovely mic set up for you.
We do. And are we going to have a look around the team?
Movement,
Should we do a check-in with the team?
Check in with the team.
How would Adam feel about a check-in with the team? That's our check-in with Adam.
It's Adam's favourite bit.
Who have we got over here? Simon, how are you doing?
Good.
You good?
So far.
So far, so good.
Isn't everybody called Graeme tonight?
Oh, photographer Graeme. I forgot to name all the Grahams. Do we have everyone's Grahams? Which Graeme is?
We just be
Which Graeme are you?
Hurst Graeme.
Well, which Graeme am I?
Hurst Graeme.
And Christina is also host
Hurst
Graeme.
Graeme.
How's host Graeme?
Fine. Boss Graeme.
Oh,
Graeme,
boss
like
Graeme.
that, yeah. What about our Graemes in the
Our control room
in the
Graeme.
control
Our
room?
sound
Graeme,
Graeme.
yeah.
is firmly anti-boss.
We had another sound name Graeme, but I can't remember it now.
Noisy Graham. We like music.
Noisy Graeme.
Noisy Graeme. And how is
I think I'll take that one.
video Graeme? And how's our other Graemes? Our Graeme Watson Graemes?
Yeah.
Radiogram.
I don't think I could read you if I tried.
I'll wave, you know. He went there, man, in the world.
Make sure you look.
And how's bass Graeme?
Straight down the lens, Graham. It's just me.
Is it?
Finish off with the Graeme Watson poem.
Wonderful, thank you.
Right. This is the devil's rock and roll. If you lose your woman and you lose your soul, it don't mean a damn, it's just the devil's rock and roll. If you win in lottery ticket, get spotted in your old jeans and the bosses lay you off because they brought in a machine and everything you touch seems to turn to shit. Your days are numbered and you don't sleep well at night. You turn to the bottle to have a little tipple when you realise your partner has got that extra nipple. Your credit card's been nicked, your pocket's just been picked, your cat's got hooves and it's worked out all your moves. There's a goat inside your wardrobe, a succubus wears your bathrobe, there's horns on the head of the pizza delivery man. And you realise Black Sabbath wasn't just a band. You went to the crossroads, but you still can't play guitar, and although the tune's been lifted, you'll always bear the scar. And God proclaimed to Richards, to us he would bequeath. Jeeves gave us Cliff, but the devil gave us Keith, and there ain't a coblet that can fix a hole that's in your soul. Relax, sit back, suck it up. It's just the devil's rock and roll. And this is the Graeme Watson poem. This is for these people, because they're wonderful. Who is Graeme Watson? Who is Graeme Watson? You're not Graeme Watson, are you? Who is Graeme Watson? Who is Graeme Watson? I could be Graeme Watson. Could you? Who is Graeme Watson? Where is Graeme Watson? We're all Graeme Watson, including you, and you, and you, and you, and you. Graeme Watson. Hi, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you, Graeme. From one Graeme to another, now it's time for us to meet Graeme Watson.
Artist chat.
It's time, finally, to meet Graeme Watson. Reese, Ruben, Elliot, thank you so much for joining us. We're just going to start with the fact that drummer Sam isn't here, aren't we?
He's allergic to corns.
When I interviewed you for Yorkshire Coast gigs a while ago, we kind of coined the phrase Schrodinger's Sam because he doesn't come to anything. But big shout out to Sam wherever he is. We know that when he's at a gig, when he's corporeal, he really does smash it on stage.
Oh, I think he actually is like a top secret spy. I think everything we know about him is completely incorrect, and he's actually working for like international governments. So he doesn't do press basically.
I can see why he would need to be with you guys and all the top secret things that you would know about. So.
He'd come if he could.
Yeah,
if he could.
So straight up, who is Graeme Watson?
Well, that's the question, the age-old question.
I mean, Graeme Watson. He could be anyone. If you feel Graeme Watson. I think that's all that it really takes.
If you've been to a gig,
If you've been to a gig, instant Graeme.
Instagram, yeah.
If you've ever helped us out in any way,
Graemification, as we call it.
yeah. You hang around with us too long, and you see stuff just happens.
You grow a jumpsuit.
You grow a jumpsuit. You get what's the word? Like an innate knowledge of labouring instantly.
Yeah. You have like Graeme senses, like Spider-Man. You can sense it. There's another one there.
And this all sparked from the Sulzer Company in Hull, the original Graeme Watson. We've been handed down through the generations his wonderful work overalls, and his best friend C. Pullen as well.
Fabulous. So you've just marked 1 year since your first gig together. How has this year gone, and how do you think you've evolved in that time?
Terribly.
Started off strong and we got worse every gig after.
Yeah, it's all right. It's just me. This gin's lovely, by the way.
Is it? Oh, good. I'm glad. So tell us about your influences. There's some really interesting local legends that sort of philosophically shapes you, would you say?
I would, yes. I mean, yeah, definitely big nod goes to Grandad's Don't Indicate, and the, specifically the film Dead Mint, which was directed by Bill Bartlett, and it just kind of showcased this fantastic kind of DIY punk band from the sort of 90s in Scarborough, and they're fantastic, and I also happen to kind of know a lot of the people that they know and kind of shaped by them because they played a lot at the Stage Door when that was open, and that was run by Paul Toole and Jill Brown, who then went on to run Record Revivals, who I now run with Jill. But yeah, so them, but then also in terms of musical influences, my biggest kind of singing influence is Frank Sinatra, which you won't hear in the slightest. I don't sing like Frank, but yeah, my way, man.
Class.
Beautiful.
And there's no other term we think's better for what you've done to some of your instruments than Frankenstein to them, really. Just tell us a bit about what's going on in the Graeme Watson workshop.
Well, it used to be the basement many years ago. Ruben will remember. It's before Reese's time. He was just he was about that tall then. But yeah, we get old guitars that are not useful for anyone. Well, they might be useful for someone, but we ruin them anyway. So we've had lots of defretting jobs, sticking pickups in things that shouldn't have pickups in, sticking necks on things that shouldn't have necks on them, and lovely Grandad's Don't Indicate have created a wonderful guitar that's got an amplifier in it. It's a guitar amp.
And there's two of those, so we have another one, and we have kindly gifted this one to Beckview.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, but I think we need to touch on the Hydra.
Oh yeah, the triple neck. So it's a Strat that was free, so I just took the neck off and used that. A P bass that was £12. It's just a body and a neck that I got off a guy I used to play in a band with. And it started as we just cut the two bodies in half and stick them together into double neck. And then I was like, it's free real estate up here where the horn and the strap attaches. So I just routed a piece out. Well, didn't route it, I used a blunt chisel. And stuck a ukulele neck on it. So now it's got three necks.
Three-headed guitar, and it sounds monstrous.
There is also the Telecaster.
Oh, yes. The Tadcaster.
The Tadcaster. That has a strange history from it, so I don't know if anybody went to Indigo back before it closed, but there was a body of a Telecaster on the toilet door leading to the toilets and the smoking area. Well, on the last... We played the closing night, and I went in to pick up all the gear the next day, and I thought, I'm having that. So I ripped that off the back door, took it home, butchered it, took a load of pieces off an old 1960s Vox bass, which is pretty sacred, and I shouldn't have done that, but it's done now. But it turns out the Telecaster body was actually Brad's dad's from Shindig. So
it's had a bit of a history.
Yeah.
So the big news right now is that you have an album coming out. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so it's
I didn't know anything about this.
Oh yeah, we've been keeping it away from you. It was going to be a birthday present
and Christmas together.
Yeah,
have a birthday.
Yeah, you were knitted like Bill.
What is a Graeme?
And yeah, we recorded it a few months ago in Manchester at Spirit Studios with the lovely Tom Ding, who's also an incredible musician himself. Makes a lot of kind of like lo-fi stuff, and you can check him out on all the platforms. Tom Ding.
He makes nice guitars.
Yeah,
he does.
And yeah, just did a one-day recording session, bashed out 8 songs, got them all mixed down, and that'll be released digitally on the 19th of December. And then in the new year, we'll have a bit of a party and get the CDs and T-shirts and everything done.
So digitally, what platforms are we
It
releasing
should be on kind of everything, any major streaming service that you can think of.
Probably not Spotify, because they're naughty.
Yeah, maybe not Spotify. We've not decided yet.
We need to have a chat about
Yeah. It's not ideal. But obviously, we just want people to listen to our music.
Yeah, of course. So every gig is a crazy one with you lot, but what have been your craziest gig moments so far? Bearing in mind we need to keep it relatively family friendly.
Well, all of our gigs are family friendly. I'll have you know.
We take except from the swearing.
My grandma's been to 2 of them, in fact. So yeah, I mean she is a hardy Scottish woman, so that might go for something. But yeah, grannies have been, kids have been.
Yeah. We played the family festival at Forge Fest.
Yeah, we did.
I'm sorry to assume.
2 p.m. slot.
No, it's all right. I mean, it can get a bit wild, but yeah, no, we look after each other, and that's the thing in like the hardcore community and like the punk community. It seems really scary, but everyone's actually kind of nice to each other. But crazy gig size.
Crowd kills like mad.
Got
ribs.
Marmite was probably the biggest.
No, we're good,
I covered my entire head in Marmite while wearing all whites, and then by the end of the gig was smelly and sticky, like a full jar. Just used it
Slick
as hair
back.
gel.
Was this at Bacchus?
Yeah. And we
Yeah, I
made
remember
toast
this.
at the same time, so I was wiping toast from my hair and giving it to the
It's a
the
full
audience.
sensory
just a nice
experience.
Toaster on
community,
stage,
though.
loaf of bread.
Yeah.
Feeding the hungry.
That toaster is
Giving
now
the
in
people
my
what they
kitchen.
want.
Exactly. I did find like toast behind the guitar amp the day after. I was like, oh, nice.
Extra toasted.
Shortly after the gig, it did find its way onto somebody's noggin, though. But then it went home and it was fine, and it works, so it's fine.
Job's a good one.
Excellent. So, apart from some launch events, what else does 2026 hold for Graeme?
Yeah, we're not sure if you want us bookers.
We are playing at the Fulford Arms with Stracey.
Oh yeah, that's
when's
actually
that?
something.
Not a clue. Ask them.
I think it's February between the 10th and the 18th.
Tickets will be going on sale shortly. So.
And yeah, it'll be good. It'll be us, Stracey, and he said I think there's another couple of bands playing as well. But yeah, that's the only thing we've got booked in for after this comes out.
Brew and Bowl 28th if you fancy it.
This will be out after that though, won't it?
Blast!
It was great. It was
If
great.
you were there.
You said blast it then.
I did.
You did.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with us. Would you like to do some songs?
If we have to.
Yeah.
If you,
suppose so.
well, I mean, yeah, you do.
Like the gulag.
Thank you for chatting with us, Graeme. Now it's the bit we've all been waiting for. We've been looking forward to this all night. It's time for Graeme Watson to play some songs for us.
This is Post-Session Sunday Mission. I'll see you all later. I would tell you what I thought, but the kids are here. We'll wait till they've gone to bed and then you'll really have it. This next one's about buses. Ready? 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 3, the 8, 4, 3. The plugs don't work and it smells like weed.
That was amazing, and what a way to end the show. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to our guests, Unrehearsed Mayhem, Elliot Bryn and Graeme Rhodes, and Graeme Watson, Elliot Rubin and Reese, plus Graeme Rhodes on his own. It's just been a huge, big Graeme special.
And a massive thank you to our team, Adam Jackson, Charlie Hunter, Yorkshire Coast Gigs, Simon doing photos, and of course Chris Jones running the show, Cafton Mines, Christina Jones, and I'm here too.
And you. And Beth Pillin.
And of course, not forgetting our sponsors, the Crescent Lounge in Scarborough, Trousdale Hearing Care, and Your 360 Virtual Tours, as well as Charlotte Middleton, the Curious Creative.
Thank you very much for tuning in to episode 8 of North Sea Soundcheck, the music show for the Yorkshire coast. Goodbye!
Charlie needs to learn to count. He never gets to 5.
1.
North Sea Soundcheck with Yorkshire Coast Gigs and Beckview Studios.